So our learning target for today, I can add and subtract fraction values in contextual problems. So if you notice, we have our listing of our words again for addition and subtraction. It's our only focus for today is just those addition and subtraction problems. It's no different than when we were doing it with integers. So you'll notice that the list is the same as it was when we were doing our integer problems. Okay, our addition words all together, plus, more, grow, combined, total, sum, increase, add. Okay, all of those are our addition problems. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that you understand that we're going to always highlight our addition vocabulary in green when we're looking through our contextual word problems. And then our subtraction keywords, same again, minus, less, difference, less than, fewer than, subtracted by, any of those words. So like if we're saying how much shorter or how much fewer, those are going to be our subtraction terms as well. And anything that's saying how much is going to be remaining or any takeaway, change, leftover, stuff like that. Please make sure that you also keep in mind that when you are subtracting, the order matters. The order that you subtract does matter. So you want to make sure that you understand that. So for subtraction, order matters. Go ahead and put that down. If I were to say I'm going to do 5 minus 2 versus 2 minus 5, that's a difference. Okay, 5 minus 2 gives me a positive value, but 2 minus 5 gives me a negative value. So you want to make sure that you are focusing, boys in the back, John Carlos, you want to make sure that you are focusing on the order that you are actually subtracting in. Okay, so all we're going to be doing today is going through a couple of contextual problems and identifying some of those key vocabulary words that let us know what operation we're doing. Are we adding or are we subtracting? And then working it out. So you do need to have your calculators ready because, again, it's fractions. So I don't want to necessarily have you try to do that by hand. Okay, so let's take a look here. For problem number 1, I can find the total width of 3 boards that are 1 3/4 inches wide, 7/8 inches wide, and 1.5 inches wide. Say it one more time. I can find the total width of 3 boards that are 1 3/4 inches wide, 7/8 inches wide, and 1.5 inches wide. What operation are we doing, Coven? Addition. Okay, what gave that away when you saw that it's addition? It's a total. Okay, the key word total. The fact that we are finding a total means that we are going to be adding those together. Now, I'm only adding the measurements of the board. I'm not adding 3. The value 3 is just saying that you're going to have 3 values you're adding together. You're not actually adding a 3 into there anywhere. So all you're going to be doing is taking 1 3/4, you're going to add it with 7/8, and then you're going to add that with 1.5. So in case you need a refresher one more time about how to do mixed numbers in your calculator. So we're going to have our calculator turned on. What button do I have to hit first if I'm going to type a mixed number in? The second button. I have to hit the second button. When I hit the second button up in the corner, that second sign is going to light up, and then I can hit the fraction button. Second and then fraction is going to give me my mixed number part. So then I can type in 1, and I have to use my arrows to get around, 3, and then 4. And then I need to get out of the fraction because now I want to hit that I'm adding. If I don't get out of the fraction, it's going to put my addition sign down in my denominator. I want my addition sign outside of the fraction. Then we're going to do 7/8, so I'm going to do 7/8, get out of my fraction, and then add, and again I have another mixed number, so I'm going to hit second fraction, 1 and 1/2. Okay, then I'm going to hit enter, and you're going to notice it's going to give me an improper fraction when I add it all together. It's going to give me that improper fraction. Be aware that sometimes an improper fraction might be the answer. So you want to know how to put it as an improper fraction, 3/8, but you also want to know how to convert that into its mixed number form. So to convert that into mixed number form, all you have to do is type second, and then you see where that X10N button is? X10N is going to take your fraction and convert it to a mixed number in the green. So when you hit that, You don't even have to type your fraction again. That's the lovely thing. If you just type that and then hit that button, it'll pull that fraction back up, and then you hit enter. There's our mixed number, 4 1/8, which makes sense because 8 goes into 33 4 whole times, right? 8 times 4 is 32, so that means you'd have 1 remaining out of the 8. So 4 1/8. Yes, dear. It simplifies already for you. That's the nice. 33 over 8 is as simplified as it gets as an improper fraction. To go to mixed number, you're then going to hit the second button. You'll hit second, and then you see where it says x10n. You hit that because right above it, you'll see the fraction symbol, and then the conversion, and then the mixed number symbol. That's going to tell you you're going to be doing that. Okay? All right. So let's take a look here at problem number 2. A 7H tire is 6 5/8 inches wide, and a 7C tire is 4 3/4 inches wide. We want to know what is the difference in their widths. What operation are we going to be doing? Addison? Subtraction. What word gave that away? Difference. Okay, so we see the word difference. Difference means that we are going to go ahead and subtract. We know that we're going to go ahead and subtract in this problem. So we are going to take 6 5/8 and we're going to subtract 4 3/4. 6 5/8 minus 4 3/4. So when we plug that in, 6 5/8 minus 4 3/4, what is that going to give us? Do you have a question? Answer, what is it going to give us? Not 91 over 8. You're subtracting. We're subtracting, not adding. 15/8. Good job, Brandon. It's going to give us 15/8. So again, 15/8 is an answer, but that's not the final answer always. Rajay, what's the final answer? 1 7 over 8. Okay, 8 goes into 15 one whole time. And then 8 times 1 is 8, so if we take 8 away from 15, we have 7 left over, 7 remaining. Boys in the back, I don't feel like you're focusing. Okay, let's take a look here for problem number 3. Problem number 3, a patient is given 1 1/2 teaspoons of medicine in the morning and 2 1/4 teaspoons at night. How many teaspoons total does the patient receive daily? What operation are we doing? Jacqueline. Addition, right? That word total. Total means that we are going to go ahead and add. Total means we're going to add. So we're going to take the 1 1/2 teaspoons that are in the morning. We're going to add it with the 2 1/4 teaspoons at night. Okay, 1 1/2 plus 2 1/4. What is that as an improper fraction? Go ahead, Coven. Okay, so that's the mixed number. Yeah, as an improper, it's 15 over 4. Okay, so 15 over 4, and then Coven gave us the mixed number, 3 3/4. All right, problem 4. 3 1/3 feet are cut off a board that is 12 1/4 feet long. How long is the remaining part of the board? Okay, what operation are we doing in that situation? Tabina, what operation are we going to do for problem 4? Subtraction. There's actually a couple of different phrases up here that are letting us know that we're subtracting in this problem. What is one of the phrases? Noah? Remaining, right? Whenever we see remaining, we know that that's going to be a subtraction problem. What else is going to tell us that we could subtract? Brianna? Cut off, right? If we say that we're cutting something off, that's going to be subtraction as well. So we've got subtraction going on here. Now, what order are we subtracting? Are we doing 3 1/3 minus 12 1/4? Are we doing 12 1/4 minus 3 1/3? What order are we subtracting? Noah?
12 1/4 minus 3 1/5.
Yes, very good. Because we're taking 3 1/3 off of this board. That means this is the board we're starting with, and then we're cutting or removing something away from it. Okay, so we're taking 12 1/4, and we're going to subtract 3 1/3. And when we do that, that's going to give us 107 over 12. 107 over 12, which would convert to 8 11/12. Okay, so what I want you guys to do, right now you're going to independently do this. Independent. You're going to flip it over to the back. Problems 5 through 10. I just want you right now, don't solve anything, but I want you to take, if you have highlighters, take a green and a pink. If you don't, then just use your pencil. If you don't have highlighters, just use a pencil. But if you do have highlighters, use your pink and green to identify the key words in the problem that will either mean you're adding or subtracting. If it's an addition problem, highlight it in green. If it's a subtraction, highlight it in pink. If you don't have highlighters, just circle the words and underneath it, write addition or add or write subtract. Okay, circle the word and write either add or subtract. You're not actually working anything out, right? We're just taking 2 minutes or 3 minutes to read through each of the problems and identify the key vocabulary that tells us the operation. So if we take a look for problem number 5, what kind of operation is problem 5 going to be? Nihat? Addition. And what word did you identify? Altogether. Right, altogether is going to be one of our addition problems. For number 6, what operation? Coven? Okay, there is subtraction, but we're also going to have to add, right? Okay, we would probably need to add all the values that we do have and then subtract that away. Or you could just do subtraction 1 by 1 by 1 by 1. So yeah, this would definitely be a subtraction problem. You've got 3 sides. You want to know the length of the fourth side. So whenever we're saying we've got this, but we want to know what's remaining, right? That fourth side is what is remaining. That's technically a remaining portion. Okay. What about number 7? What operation, Noah? Addition. Addition, and what word? How far. How far, right? That's kind of like a total. How far has she gone ahead and jogged, right? That's a total of all the running that she's done. All right, and then number 8, what operation? Addison? Subtraction, what words? How much is left, right? That's left over. What's remaining? What about problem 9? What are we going to do? Rajay? Subtraction, right? We're going to be subtracting. We're taking all those values and subtracting it over. So we want to know how much more, right? How many more ounces of water are we going to need to be able to meet that goal? So that's going to be subtraction problem. And then problem number 10? Coven? Subtraction, because how much is left, right? How much material is going to be left. Okay, when we come back from lunch, we'll go ahead and work those problems out.